this topic is going to be probably pretty short and sweet. It's kind of like your intro to trig. Before you can start using trig ratios to solve right triangle problems, you have to be able to label that. Similar to when you're using Pythagorean theorem, it's really important to know the legs and the hypotenuse. For trig problems, you really have to know how to label that triangle, or you're not going to be able to set up the problem. So I'm just going to put in all the numbers. But here's what we do. With trig and right triangles, you're pretty much always given a reference angle. Okay, 90 degrees is just part of the right triangle. That's not our reference angle. This here is the other angle that they gave us besides the 90 degree. This one here is what I would say, we call that our reference angle. All right. The reason why you need to know that, just because it's going to help you label the other sides. So the first one that you want to label is your hypotenuse. You don't need to know anything except how to find that hypotenuse to label it. So you follow that right angle straight out, and it's pointing right at the hypotenuse. So just label that immediately H. The next side is called the opposite side that we're going to label. And the one after that is called the adjacent. I do the opposite next because it's the same sort of format that we use as we found the hypotenuse. So with the hypotenuse, we found the right angle, we went straight out. To find the opposite, we find the reference angle, which I've circled, and we go straight out. And that is our opposite. They're the two easiest sides to find. And the last one that hasn't been labeled yet is our adjacent. And it's not that adjacent is super difficult to see. The word adjacent just means next to. And I just think it's easier to find hypotenuse and opposite because it's kind of the same gestures that you're using. So let's just try another one. Let's say this time we have that. We know that this here is 18 degrees. I'm just going to throw an X in here for algebra's sake. All right, so again, we're just labeling the triangle. We're not even doing any problems yet because there's another whole video that shows you once you've got the triangle labeled, how to handle it. So straight out from the right angle, that's your hypotenuse. Boom. Here's your reference angle. Again, I like to circle it straight out from the reference angle. Boom. That's your opposite. There's one side left and one word left that has to be labeled, and that's your adjacent. All right, that's all you're literally doing. It may seem silly to have a video for this, but it's a really big step. If you can't label your triangle correctly, you're not going to be able to solve any trig problems. So it's a big thing. I'm not saying it's hard. I'm just saying that it's a big thing. All right, we'll just do two more. Let's say this time I have that. This is 37, and we know that this measures M, whatever that is. Same as always, start with the hypotenuse. Here's the right angle. Boom, it goes straight out. There's our hypotenuse. I don't know if you heard that. That's my dog. Here's our reference angle. Straight out from that, that's our opposite. All right, there's one side left that we haven't labeled, and that is our adjacent side. All right, it does get super simple once you do a few, so actually pick up your pencil and draw out a couple. Maybe draw this one out and put me on pause so you don't have to hear me yapping. Let's say that this guy here is 101 feet, and let's say that this guy here is 26 degrees. Yeah, so hit pause, draw that out, and you do it. Make sure you know what the heck you're doing. All right, very much the same steps. From the right angle, straight out, that side is the hypotenuse. I'm not labeling an angle, I'm labeling a side. Here's the reference angle, straight out. Boom, walk right into the opposite side. All right, that leaves this side with no label. That is my adjacent, or my side next to the angle. All right, that's it. It's an important thing. Hopefully you found it easy, and good luck.